Okay, probably should turn the mic on. But what's going on, people? It's your boy Knock Real, live from Rio de Janeiro. I'm looking at my camera stand over here. Why is it leaning like that? Hold on one second. Oh, it's up on there. Like, why is it leaning? Okay. All right. Okay, I looked at my tripod and my tripod was leaning hard right. So I was like, man, I probably ought to straighten that out for my camera fall. Can't really afford to have that happen. So once again, it's your boy Knock Real. I'm out here Copacabana in my studio. Just had a class leave, and so I decided this afternoon I would continue my tradition and go live. I just think it's easier to go live because then, I don't have to worry about recording it and then editing it out or whatever. I don't have to do all of that stuff. It's just easier for me to go live at this moment until I get another machine or, another computer or something that I can crunch the video on and create the actual put together videos. Right now, I just use my computer too much. I'm producing music, ideas coming, things like that. And the last thing I want is not to be able to work because I'm working on, something else. In the background, I'm, crunching video or something, which is really, really intensive. I don't really want to be doing that. So, so I need to get a new machine that's going to be dedicated maybe towards video or whatever. It's not the priority right now, but it's something that'll kind of happen later on. Check it out. You see it. The Save the Community, Hip Hop Save the Community t-shirts. It's on my Beatfi right now. You can go get you one. This is the plain one. On the inside, it's plain, but I got one with a nice fist. I got one with a crown. I got another one too. So, go on to mybeatfi.com, check out the merchandise there. We've got different colors, different sizes. I think they go up to 2X. Some of them might go up to more. We've got hoodies. We've got like cups that you can, have on your desk at work. So it's cool. It's really, really cool. So that's the podcast that's coming, or the YouTube show that's coming anyway, the live show, the Hip Hop Save the Community show. That's going to be something that we're going to be doing. So I'm repping it. I've got one of the shirts on today. You'll see that from time to time. So I rep what I talk about. I'm the kind of person I do this for real. So, if you hear me talking about it, my Beatfi, all that, I got shirts for that too. I don't sell those yet. I probably should figure out, when we're going to sell those. I probably should create merch for that too. But I'm a one-man show right now. I can't do everything. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to help me at this point in time. No, I'm lying. So, but no, it's like, it's cool because I'm a real dude. Like, whatever brands I have and whatever things I believe in, I put that forward, and I'm gonna rock the shirt in the street, whether it's Knock Real Beats, whether it's my Beatfi, whether it's Hip Hop Save the Community. You might catch me in the street with that on my chest, so, I'm really about doing it. So today we're here to maybe arrange a track that I did this morning. The track, I named it Monster. I don't know how that's going to play into the lyrics yet because I put in some vocals from Arcade, which is another cool program. I just happened to find a couple little vocals or whatever just to play around with it. If you like this track and you want to buy it, you don't got to keep the vocals in there because I give you all the stems separately. You could take it out. If you think if one of them's cool and the other one's not, you're still going to be able to take it out, whichever one you don't want. Because you get the stems, you get everything separated, nothing together, the hi-hats, all that stuff. Typically all that stuff is separated. So that way, as the artist, you can be in there with your engineer and his hands are not tied. He can put effects on things. He can, change things up. He can do dropouts and everything. If you only want the hi-hats to drop out at a certain point, you only get the hi-hats dropping out. You're not stuck with a 2-track. Like a lot of cats is just ripping a 2-track off of, YouTube, and then they can't do nothing with it. It can't be arranged or anything. So I do the arrangement here, of course, but when you get the stems and you buy a lease that has the stems, or you purchase this track, exclusively, you're going to get all of the stems where you got it separate. So that's kind of the service that I provide for you. And I think that it's a better way to work. Just having engineered for a lot of years and doing a lot of sessions for people back in the early 2000s, basically, for 2000 to 2005 area, 2006 area, I was doing, pretty much full time running my studio in Orlando. So, I understand what's necessary in the session. And the worst thing is somebody comes in, they used to come in with CDs. I don't know how it is today, but they used to come in with CDs with beats on it, and the CD's all scratched up, and we'd have to do all this work to try to edit it. And then they'd be like, "Oh, can you take out the drums?" And I'd be like, "No, because you only gave me a 2-track." So, stuff like that. So, but we did a lot of original work. The majority of what we did was original beats, original rap, original verses, everything original. So, on my MPC and my keyboards and stuff that I had back then, we just track everything out, so that's what I'm going to be working on today, just arranging this track called Monster. And, if you like the track or whatever, check it out on my BeatFi. On my BeatFi, you don't have to put all the money down today. You can put like 10% down today. And then, you can pick, I want 2 months or 6 months worth of payments, depending on what lease you're buying. You can decide, hey, it's going to take me like 2 months to pay it off, but I'll pay it off. Put your 10% down today and you get it. You get the beat reserved for you, basically, or your lease is reserved, and then you just got to make the payments. Now, if you don't make the payments, you lose your 10% that you put down. So you got to be sure about what you're doing. But it helps me, and it helps the other producers that are on there understand that you're serious about buying the beat. Because anybody can say, yeah, I'm going to come back and get it, but then they never come back. So to me, put your money where your mouth is, and I'll hold on my end of the deal. You just got to hold on to your end of the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got business then. Once the money exchange, we have business then. And for you producers out there, my BeatFi is open to you too, because you can set up basically your marketplace on my BeatFi. You get your own basic store where you're selling, and it's your joint, so you can upload when you want to and all that kind of stuff. Right now, just MP3s, not the stems and files and all that stuff, but we'll work on getting the data storage to get that ready pretty soon. But my BeatFi is for you too, because now you're not worried about whether the artist is going to come back and buy your beat or not. They can get it with 10% down today. They're not going to get the beat. All they're really going to get is a guarantee that you're going to have the beat for them when they finish paying for it, right? So when they're finished, you deliver the beat to them, and you got to hold up your end of the bargain too, because you got to deliver. You wouldn't go into a store and spend your money and then pay the last payment on something and then you don't have it. No, you want it. So you got to be on top of these transactions with your artists too. Make sure once they get paid, boom. Once they get paid for, boom, you send them their track. We're going to, this is good business. This site is about doing good business. And if you don't do good business, eventually you'll be gone. That's the way I look at it. But the thing is, everybody agrees to do this transaction. And the artist doesn't have to prove to the producer that they're interested because they put their money down. And the producer doesn't have to sit back wondering what's going to happen because they got the money already. They got that deposit already. So they know that this track is going to sell. They know they got to move the track when the rest of the money comes in. So that's the difference with my BeatFi. You don't get people, listening to your beat and then taking 3 weeks to come back to you to buy it. And during that 3 weeks, they've listened to 300 other producers' beats, and now they bought somebody else's beat. No, if they like the beat, then they can put their money where their mouth is today. So that's why it's good for producers. But that's not what this show is about, but, what we're doing here today. But I'm just putting it out there that this is what it's about. So it's my BeatFi, MyBeatFi.com. You go there, you sign up as a vendor. Unless you're just buying beats, you don't need to be a vendor. But if you want to sell beats, you become a vendor. And, send me a message or whatever through there, the contact us form or whatever. If you got some trouble or something ain't working for you, send me that. I'll, give me your number or your email or something like that. I'll shoot you my WhatsApp, and you can holler at me right on the phone and talk to me or whatever about what you need to get done. You know what I'm saying? And so I run that show. So I'm going to be the one that's going to help you get through whatever you're trying to do. If we can't do what you're trying to do, okay, we can't do it today, but I'll at least know this is something that we should add, that type of thing. So we're going to learn a lot of lessons going through it, but I think the service is viable. I think that's why we're different, is because we can create the business for you today. We can lock in your business today. Whereas other sites have you waiting on somebody telling you they're going to buy your beat. So, that's why we the best. So, all right. So let's get into this track right here. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm at my limit pretty much with the effects and everything here that I've been running. I'm also running this this thing in the background. Let me see. Let me drop this down real quick. I'm running this this backup of my computer in the background. Still got about 23 hours left to do, but I'm trying to get everything up on the cloud so that if something happens with this computer, I don't lose my files, so that's what we're doing today. So that's running in the background. I'm running the camera, I'm running OBS, I'm running Cakewalk, which is the DAW that I'm working in, and inside of that I'm running what's the beat software, MPC Beats. That's another DAW that's running. So I got a lot of stuff running. So I've got to figure out what we're going to do as far as this this track, to make sure that we can get it into the place where we need it to be. As far as the arranged and all that stuff. Once I arrange it, then I'm going to put it out on the websites. My BeatFi, I'll put it on my BeatStars, because I have a BeatStars too. I run my BeatFi, but I have a BeatStars too, because I believe that, I got to have my beats everywhere if I want them to sell, right? So people got to be able to see it. I at least want my name to be out there. People heard or saw something that I did. That's what I want. So, I'm not impartial to BeatFi. I'm not saying leave BeatFi or BeatStars, but my BeatFi is my joint, so I'm going to rep it. So let's do this. Let's start working. Let's see, hopefully there's not too many audio glitches or anything like that. If there are, then what I'll do is I'll freeze these, I'll freeze the MIDIs down. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to start by putting my control bar back up there. Then I'm going to grab all of the tracks, which are all MIDI right now. There's no audio here. That's all MIDI. Just make sure you grab the whole thing, just kind of like what I did. I'm going to go ahead and copy it. I'm going to stick my cursor. I call it a cursor, but I don't know what it's called. But I'm going to stick it right there on 9. I'm going to make sure I'm on track 1. So I need to click here, make sure that's in yellow. And then I'm going to edit, paste, special. Right? Go to edit, paste, special. Move this window over here so you can see it. And the starting time is 9:01. I always check that to make sure I'm started at the right point. This is an 8-bar loop. If I go 10 repetitions, it's probably, and it's 80 beats per minute, it's probably going to be somewhere right around 3.5 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and put 9 so that we have 10 sets of 80 bars, of 8 bars, which leaves us with a total of 80 bars. It's going to start at track 1. Let's go ahead and click OK. It's MIDI, so it shouldn't take too long. I'm going to go all the way out here. I'm going to stick my cursor at the 81st bar. You can see it's on bar number 81 up here. And then you can see it fell right at 4 minutes. So that's cool. Let's see how it plays out when we go to actually arrange it. I'm going to take the loop off over here because I don't need it to loop anymore, at least not for right now. This is pretty much the whole track. All of these tracks in here pretty much are the drums. I don't think I need this track 12, so I'm going to delete that. So if we don't need it, we don't have to have it. And then we're just gonna arrange the track. Now I don't want the drums playing like right in the beginning. I heard something a little earlier, or maybe I might go with the drums just by themselves and the vocals. Let's see kind of what we get here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mute myself and then unmute my DAW so that you can hear that and that comes through on the. Okay, I forgot to do one more thing. I need to route this correctly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to A, which is the master bus, and I'm gonna pick a send because of my Focusrite 1820 has a loopback function on outputs 9 and 10. I'm going to turn on the 9 and 10 loopback function, run that back about minus 3 dBs, and that should play through my DAW. Right? So you got to have things set up correctly and, just know where they are. If you didn't set it up, know where it is to be able to fix it, right? All right, so like I said, I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on all at the same time, so I'm stopping the effects from running right now. I just kind of closed off my buses a little bit to see if that kind of helps. I just think we're just running a lot right now with the streaming software and the backup and everything. It's just running a lot, so it's not gonna sound really great right now. But that we can still arrange. I can still arrange because I know where I want things to be, and then we can turn all that stuff back on, export it, and everything will be fine. So we'll work with it like that. So I apologize for that, but we just got a lot going on today. I just want to let you know why it sounds crazy right now. All right, so it's just definitely not going to play nice with us today. But let's do this. I kind of know what I want to hear here. So I'm going to open up these drum tracks. And on the drum tracks, I'm going to use mute automation so that we can mute it in certain parts. So I want to probably start at this 9 area. Just mute these out really quickly. So let's go here. I'll go to my automation line here. I'm going to select mute, automated mute from the list. When you draw it up, it will engage. So where the line is right now, it's not engaged. So I draw like 4 dots like you see. Well, let's do this here. Why don't I show you the screen and then you can see it. All right, so I draw the 4 dots here. I'm gonna go ahead and select this. And then, because it's mute, I want it to mute all the way out. I draw it all the way to the top. So that's what I want to kind of occur there. What I can do, I can take this, copy it, go down here, create the same thing, start at 1, and paste. I'm going to go down here to basically all of these. And none of this is something that we can't undo. So I just want to hear what it sounds like. Maybe we leave like the hi-hats or something. I don't know. We may change it up a little bit. But this is just kind of the starting point that I work from. Okay, for whatever reason it didn't want to paste. But okay, so we've got an 8-bar intro where it's just the chords being played, some nice kind of softish chords going on, and then we've got, seems like we're missing something. Yeah, we're missing 6 here. That reverb too, I think, is on a snare. I don't know. Let's leave it there. Let's see what happens. But for the next 4 bars or so, a little more than 4 bars, it looks like we've got, let's see, let me drop this here because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, 13. These should come back in, or at least some of them should come back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that. I'm going to move this. I want my automation to kind of line up with my bar so I know where this is going to drop at. Okay. Some of them I might kind of let them start to come in a little bit, too. So, you can fade these in, stuff like that. You could take these maybe and just kind of fade them or whatever. Maybe they're hi-hats or something so that you get a different effect. You have those different instruments coming in at different times. Now, this is just something that I'm doing here. Eventually, if you want the stems without that, then we can get you that too. It's no problem. But yeah, that's kind of like how I want to do this right now. So we've got some automated muting going on. We'll just work with that as we go and just listen to what we have. Let's try it again. And thank you for suffering with this crazy audio, but we'll get through it. what I'm gonna do after I kind of get this arranged is I'm gonna dump all this. I'm gonna unfreeze all of this. I mean, not unfreeze, but I'm gonna freeze all of the MIDI tracks. What that's gonna do is it's gonna turn it into audio tracks, and then we shouldn't have this problem because what it is, it's a lot of VSTs, so we're gonna save the power that the VSTs are using. So, I do apologize once again for the craziness that's going on here, but we're gonna be all right. So let's do this. Let's take out this. Let's take this. No, you know what? Let's leave that for a little bit, and let's take this out. This is just kind of a breakdown part, so just do some quick automation there, and then we're gonna be all right. Let's see. Drop that in there. And we're gonna have this coming back up here, just kind of slinking its way back in on a fade in. And then this is that's the end. Like we said, it's 4 minutes, so it's longer than a lot of songs these days. So I'm gonna go down here to my master. I'm gonna grab a automation channel for that as well. I'm gonna grab this here from about almost just starting after that 8 bars begins. I'm gonna drop this down on the end, and that's gonna fade us out. So I didn't drop these vocals out a lot, but that's something maybe we can think about doing. They kind of are integral to the track, but I don't know. Let's just take some out here and there, and see what occurs. So, all right. So I think it's a good time, since we kind of have something going here. I'm going to save it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze each one of these tracks. And what that will do, you'll see I froze the first track up here up top. That's going to convert that track over to audio. Now, this is something that you can undo as well. You don't have to keep it that way. So you can freeze it, save the resources for your computer, still work, and then you can revert back to MIDI so that you can still change things if you need to. So that's a really cool feature here in Cakewalk. I don't know, maybe that exists in some other DAWs. It's been a while since I worked in Pro Tools, so I don't remember having a feature like that in Pro Tools because we just never did MIDI in Pro Tools way back when I was using it. We just didn't compose there, so we composed everywhere else except Pro Tools. So that was just a really a recording medium. So I don't know if that exists in Live, Ableton Live, or these other ones, but Cakewalk is a free DAW, so it don't cost any money for you to even get started, and everything pretty much I have, DAW wise, as far as this, came free. MPC Beats is free too. So you've got 2 really powerful systems that you can use to create beats. You've got and for free. So if you're starting out and you don't know where to start, or maybe some of the other DAWs are not quite giving you what you want, or you don't have the versatility that you want, I think that this combination might be something that's good for you, because you can use MPC Beats as a VST. It's easy to do your drums there. You can sample there, lots of stuff, and you use it like an MPC works, and I just like their workflow in the MPC already, because I had an MPC 2000 XL back in my studio. So, I just kind of understand the workflow, and I like the tightness of it. And, it was pretty much 90s hip hop. It was MPCs. That's what we used, MPCs and Tritons, so, that's what we were using, and maybe some Rolands too. I think there's a Roland keyboard or something, some Phantoms and some other stuff that were dope too. But this was kind of what we were doing. So, all I can say is that if you're beginning, don't overlook it, overlook Cakewalk because you haven't heard of it, because there are not a lot of people talking about it, which sometimes is a good thing. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but it's been around a long time. It's been around probably 30 years now. So it's been around a long, long time. And it's full featured. When I talk about, does VSTs, all the VSTs you want to use are going to be there. Anything external that you buy is going to be there. You can use Florida. I always say Florida when I think FL Studio. You can use FL as a VST through Cakewalk and split out the multi-tracks where your 16 tracks that are hitting in FL Studio are coming into Cakewalk as separate tracks. So you can track it as audio, or you can leave it as MIDI. If you track the whole sequence, okay, great. You track the whole song in FL Studio. You can just have it sequenced, and you can record your vocals on top of it in Cakewalk. Because I know people talk about, in FL you can't record vocals, or it's, maybe they'd say it's not the greatest place to record vocals, but Cakewalk is a really easy place to record vocals. So that's what I would say. I would say don't think about it in terms of what you don't have, because you can have the best of both worlds. As long as you've got a pretty decent, strong computer, you're going to be able to use the best of both worlds and use them at the same time together. Now, I like MPC Beats. I explained this yesterday in my live because of the tightness of it. And, like I was saying, I like the quantization of it. I use my pads on my Arturia Keylab 61. I use the pads on there to bang out my drums, and it's really, really quick. For me, I don't have to go move stuff around or whatever. It quantizes it for me and puts it in the place that I want it to be. So that's the cool thing about having MPC Beats. Then I can route that and all the channels separately into Cakewalk, which works for me, because then I can do all of my leads and pianos and strings or whatever it is that I'm doing, basses. All of that can be done directly in Cakewalk. And if I want to do some sampling or something like that, I can do some sampling in MPC Beats. So I've got the best of both worlds. I also had FL Studio hooked up as well, the same way, so that I could do the drums in FL Studio, because I'm like, it just has a different sound. It just has a different kind of workflow to it. So I wanted the ability to use that too if I need to, and have that all feeding into my DAW. I could use both of them at the same time. Matter of fact, I did use both of them at the same time. FL Studio and MPC Beats running into my Cakewalk. So I wasn't limited, and I don't have to choose really between DAWs. I can use them together, So that's the beauty of it. That's the real beauty of having something like a Cakewalk. We're almost done here. We're getting down here, so I'm kind of chilling, just knocking these out real quick. Hope they're going quick, so that's pretty good. So when people are arguing or they're creating these videos about which one is the best, or they're on Twitter talking about you use FL Studio or you use Ableton or you use this, you can combine them with using the VSTs. You can combine them and have the best of both worlds. So what's wrong with that? To me, it's a great solution. Combine the two, so that you're not limited in what you can do. And if you like one workflow for something, you do that workflow in that DAW. And then if you want to do vocals in another DAW, you do vocals in Cakewalk. So it's all about knowing the tools that you have, utilizing the tools so that you can produce the best quality music that you can. And that your workflow isn't impeding your progress. I like to work really, really quickly. I'm used to being in the studio flying around to stuff. And so when I'm doing these lives and I'm talking or whatever like that, I'm probably not going to explain everything like a lot of people do when they do these tutorials and stuff like that. I'm probably not going to be explaining everything just because my hands are going to be moving way faster than my mouth is going to move. So, so that's kind of like my thing. I got used to working really fast because you have a lot of artists coming into the studio. They don't have a lot of money, so you can't take all day. They may have 2 hours of money. I might give them 2.5, 3 hours if they're a good, client of mine. I'm gonna give them some extra time. I don't care, especially if I don't have anything right after. But when I need to get them out of there, or I got somebody in there, I know they ain't paying like that. So it's like I'm trying to give them the best mix and everything. We record the song, lay the song down, they write to it, re-record it, and we bang it out in maybe 2 hours with a mix and everything. Like you got to be moving. So that's the way that I used to work, and so that's why I am the way that I am. It's just kind of like a muscle memory type thing where, this is what I do. I don't want to have to slow down and explain every single thing to you. I want you to watch, learn. If you have questions, ask questions. Hey, I saw you do this or whatever at this point in the video or whatever. Tell me what that was about. That type of thing, because we're just going to be moving and trying to get the music done. And a lot of times it's just to get what's going in your head to spill out into your fingers and get it done, and you don't want to forget. So all of this is frozen now. They're frozen, so I don't know if that's going to help us or not. I can see the performance is still going crazy up here. The cores are going crazy for the CPU. I was looking today at some dual CPU motherboards with a lot more RAM capability. I only have 16 gigabytes of RAM. You can see up here it's almost hitting it's hitting 82% right now. So I mean it's up there. The system memory is being used at 35 gigs or something. I've got 16 gigs of RAM, so I don't know why it's that much, but it is what it is. The disk looks like it's doing pretty well. That never really jumps up, but I've got to get more system memory ability and stuff. So let's play this. Let's see if we can get something going on here. Let's see kind of what it sounds like and what we've got going on, so that we can kind of understand what's happening at this point. All right, let me do this. I gotta mute myself here, and then I'll play this so you guys can hear. Okay, so I've got my monitors up a little higher, so because I always tend to stand up when I'm listening, so that's why the monitors are kind of where they are. They're up above a little bit, so um, that's why. But let me do this. I wanted to drop the drums out right at bar like 65, where that break is at. I'm gonna drop the kicks out and the kick drums for a little while here. So I think that'll sound cool. And this really, like I said, is it's really for me to be able to go home and listen to it, have fun listening to it, and then for the artist to kind of get an idea of what it can sound like. But like I said, when you have the stems, you don't have to worry about that because you can make whatever changes you want to make. So it becomes your track as an artist at that point in time becomes your track. So you can make it do what it wants to do. If you want more stuff out at a different time or whatever, or you want to bring stuff in and out, we can get you the full track where you don't have to worry about any of that. You can customize it the way that you want, and your producer, because just because I produce the track doesn't mean that I'm the producer of the full song. You may have a producer that you're working with or somebody who's kind of your creatively directing your album project or something, and they may hear some things that they want to change, or things that might be sound better, or they feel might be good for the cohesiveness of the album. And that that's perfectly fine with me. I'm just like, I just got to get you the idea or whatever so that you can write to it, and then you feel good about how it sounds. So let me run this back through. I'm going to run this back through this area around 65 or so. Let's actually start at 61 so the other drums come in at the right place, and then listen to that back so I can hear that break. All right, so it's not perfect, but I just wanted to get on and do a live today. I just thought it'd be fun. Um, we'll listen to it and we'll make some changes and whatever. I probably won't upload it or whatever till maybe tomorrow morning or something. I'll take it home tonight, listen to it, see what it sounds like, and go from there. But the idea for me is to produce a lot of music, put it out. I just put it out there, man. It's like, it's not gonna be perfect. There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna tell you that something's wrong with your mix, or you could do this, or you could do that better, or whatever like that. As producers, I feel like, okay, let's get it to a place where the writer can write to it, the rapper can write to it, or the singer can write to it, or whatever. The production process isn't finished until we've got vocals on it and all that stuff. That's important because the vocals are another instrument. So it doesn't have to be mixed perfectly. Why are you trying to mix your beat perfectly and you don't have all the instruments? You've got a ton of instruments coming. You've got the lead vocals, you've got the stacks, you've got the hook coming with all of its stacks and its harmonies and ad libs and all that stuff coming. Those are all instruments that got to sit in the mix too. And so your beat shouldn't really be finished. You can't consider your beat finished when you finish producing the beat, because it's got other instruments that are going to go on it. So, and then when you hear the lyrics, you might want to add stuff, take stuff away, whatever. So it's never really done until it's not a song until it's complete. So don't worry so much about it being perfect with your mixes and all that stuff. Get it in a nice place, get it in a good place where they can write to it. They're going to be interested. Get your drums out front, whatever. If you're doing a lot of 808s, get your 808s out there where they should be. I'm not particularly good, I don't think, at 808s, programming or mixing them. So it's something that I'm learning too. And, just really learning to get my drums out front and use my buses and things to help me do that. Mix a little bit lower, so that lower volume, so that I have headroom and all that type of stuff. Those are all things that you need to think about as a producer, but you're not mastering a track. I hear a lot of producers talking about, I mastered why are you mastering it when the vocals are not on? That doesn't make any sense to me. For the artist to listen to, they want it loud or whatever. Yeah. But when you deliver that track to an engineer in the studio, don't deliver them, all these audio tracks with no headroom, because they need room to work. And last thing they want is distorted all over the place and they can't fix it. And then the artist is looking at them crazy because the artist is spending money there. So you got to kind of recognize that you're part of the system. You're part of the process. You're not the process. You're part of the process. And you have to understand where you are in the process. And most of us are at the beginning. So we've got to leave everybody that's coming after us, the sound engineers, the recording engineers, the mastering engineers, all those people need to be able to work. And so our job is to set them up for success. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox and shut up here. I do appreciate you guys coming, checking out the live. I'm sorry for the audio glitches or whatever. One day I'm going to have a better computer. I've got to see how that might play out. Like I said, my uncle was investing in doing a lot of things here. If I call him, it'd be done today, type thing, but he passed away. So this is a problem. This is the issue why, I can't just say, yeah, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Because, we were a team and now the team is, different. So, shout out to my uncle though, for putting me in position to be able to do this, to be able to even do these lives and stuff and to be here and everything. I never, I'll never say I did this myself. This is, I was able to get back here and do all this stuff here in Rio with his help. So, wherever he's looking down on me, thank you. I just always have to go back to giving, praises to him because he believed in everything I was doing and putting, he put me first. He made sure I got everything I needed to make it work. And he will continue to do that. Even in his death, he's continued to do that. So, we'll get the computer, we'll get all that squared away and everything. He ain't going to leave me hanging. So, if he's watching from a better place, then he knows what's necessary. He'll make it happen. So, so the only thing I really need to do now is maybe unfreeze the tracks. I'll probably export it as an MP3 first. The only thing I didn't add back in was the virtual mix rack, which makes it sound even better with the EQs and stuff. I mean, that's all I really need to do. But once I actually bounce it today to like an MP3 or something, just so I can listen to it at home, then I will unfreeze those tracks, those MIDI tracks, because I don't really want to save it like that. I guess I could, but I'd rather not take any chances. But once again, it's your boy Knock Rio. Remember, hip hop saved the community, and I'm coming in from Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro. About a block that way is the beach. And so, it's a beautiful day today. I'm not going out there. It's getting be a little bit later, but I'm going to get off of here and get out your hair. But I appreciate you coming through. I'm going to do these lives as much as possible so that I can get accustomed to it. Hopefully with time, they'll get better and they'll look better and they'll be nicer and all that stuff. But right now this is the raw essence. So hip hop saved the community. Remember that. Peace.